So this is an Elddis Crusader Super Cyclone. At the front of the van you have the jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you have a gas regulator changeover valve in the front locker. So what you can actually do is with this particular van is the valve here. You can turn it either way. If you've got two gas bottles connected or two bits of pipework connected, you can have one this side, one that side, and change the valve over so the point is pointing at the bottle you want to use. Makes it nice and easy then as well when you want to change over the gas supply, and the red inside here indicates that there is no gas currently going through it, or the gas has run out. If it was bottles connected, it will go red when the gas is turned on and it's turned to the right side. Down the side of the caravan you have your Aldi heating and hot water flue. We'll take you through this when we go inside of the van. And on each side at the front you have your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it is on site. On the side of the caravan also you have your water pump connection, which very simply pulls out and pushes into the side of the van. You can push down this cover to lock the pump in place. You've then got your battery box with your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, so that will connect to the mains power on site, and then you'll also connect your mains power to the site, and then you've got your battery in the battery box. And in there as well you've got your motor mover power switch, which we'll demonstrate in person here on site. Before you leave site with the caravan, we'll talk the wheel nuts on the van so you can see they've been tightened correctly, and we'll also demonstrate the motor mover in person and get you to have a go with that so you know how it operates. In the side of the van here you have your toilet locker itself. So to release it you need to pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your blue fluid, and then on the back of the cassette you have an orange pressure relief button that you can push in when you're tipping the waste away. Before you use that cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid. At the back of the van here you have a storage locker that allows you to access the storage underneath the rear beds, which you can also access from the inside. On the back of the caravan on either side, I haven't put them down yet, but there is the 2 wind down legs to stabilise the van while it is on site. Again, on this side of the van at the rear you have your storage locker to access the storage underneath the rear beds. So you have your 2 fridge vents behind the door, which allows the fridge to breathe essentially. It will blow out hot air and take cool air in, and behind one of those you'll also find a gas flue when the fridge is running on gas. Coming down the side of the van you have your underbed storage for at the front, barbecue gas points and the last wind down leg. Going inside the caravan now. On the left hand side as you walk in, you've got your main power switch for the caravan, so when I turn that off, it'll turn all the power off inside the van. Turn it on to turn the power on. You've then got various lighting switches coming along here, and just here, you have your Aldi control panel at the top here, which I'll turn on. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. You've got your main water pump run just here, so that is your main water pump switch. You then have the option to run internal or external pump. Sorry, it's not clearing up very well. I think the camera's got a little bit wet from where it's absolutely chucking it down. So internal switch at the top here will allow the internal water pump to run, which will allow the onboard water storage tank to fill. And at the bottom you've got your external run, which will allow the aquaroll pump to run direct to the water tap, direct to the hot water tank on board the caravan. But I'll explain that a little bit more in a moment. You've got your battery voltage on this screen just here. Again, when it allows me to show you that, sorry it's a little bit bright while the camera's adjusting. But on there's actually the current battery level and the onboard water tank level at the moment, how much water is in that tank. So the first thing you're going to need to do once you've got them controls switched on is open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. You'll actually notice I've already done that. So we'll shut them off for a minute, but normally you'd leave them all open, so that's the tap on the shower and the sink in the bathroom. You'll then come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan, and underneath here you will find your drain down valve for the caravan. So that drain down valve needs to be parallel with the floor as it is at the moment to allow you to fill the water system up. If you're filling the hot water tank at the front, that is just there. That's your Aldi hot water tank. So that's parallel with the floor. If you want to drain it down, it would need to be upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat. Coming to the back of the caravan, you'll notice there's an onboard water storage tank in the back of the van. So underneath the bed at the back, you'll see there's a blue valve on the left hand side of that tank on the floor. In the position it's in at the moment, it'll allow the water tank to fill up, which as you can see there's water in there. If you turned that valve over so the circular part was pointing towards the wall on the outside of the caravan, it'd actually drain that water tank down completely. You have got a pressure valve switch here, which you shouldn't ever need to adjust. It's set up, ready to go. So to fill that tank at the back there, you'd have to have the aqua roll connected on the outside. You'd come down to the control panel just down by the door here, and you'd hit external pump, and that will allow the aqua roll on the outside of the van to fill that onboard water storage tank. If you and you'd need all the taps open to do that also. If you wanted to fill just the hot water tank and you didn't want to use that onboard tank at the back, you just press internal pump, and that will essentially, sorry, let me start again. External pump will be to pump the water from the outside into the caravan from your aqua roll directly to the onboard hot water tank at the front, and if you want to fill the tank at the back, you'd need to have it on internal, and that would allow the tank at the back of the caravan to fill. So that is how you fill your water systems. You continue running the water system until you've got all the air out of the system and there's water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. You then come to the control panel above, which is your Aldi control panel. At the moment it's coming up with gas fail because for some reason it's been left on gas, so I'll just turn off the gas option just here. At the top here you've got your room temperature, so you've got minus or plus to set your room temperature. Below that you've got either hot water off when this button's grey, hot water on when the bar's halfway up, and hot water boost when this bar is completely full. So essentially if you don't want the hot water on, you'd have the button grey. On will be halfway up, so it's just warming up gradually. Then all the way up will be hot water boost. Below that you've got the amount of power you are using from the site you're on. So you've got the option of 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts depending on what site you're on. Here on site we can run a maximum of 1 kilowatt, so that is what we're going to run our heating and hot water on, and that is only relevant to this control panel for the heating and hot water. Down the bottom here you've got your option to run gas. You can hit the button here, which will allow the gas system to ignite. Obviously it will fail because there's no gas bottle on board at the moment, but if it fails it will come up with gas fail as you saw before at the bottom of the screen with 2 exclamation marks either end. So that is your heating and hot water control panel. Down the bottom right hand side here you have got some advanced options that you can go through. For these we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. Next thing we're going to take you through is the fridge system on board the van. So again, the fridge is very easy to use. You've got power on, and you've got gas again, so it's going to fail to ignite again on gas, and it will actually flash the blue light here to indicate it has failed to ignite, and it will also flash the warning triangle on the right hand side red again to indicate it has failed to ignite. You've got the option of 240 mains. Now at the moment we haven't got the 240 mains turned on. It's got the lead plugged in to show how it works. So again, if the 240 mains wasn't connected, it will do exactly as it's just about to do. Start flashing and indicate the mains is not turned on. When you see the caravan tomorrow, it'll all be turned on with mains power coming into the van. On the right hand side here, you've got the option to run 12 volts from the car you are towing with. So if you're travelling down the road and you want to get the beer and wine nice and cold when you arrive on site, and you've got the right connection on the car, hit the 12 volt mode and it will chill the fridge down to a cool temperature. It won't completely freeze, it won't freeze anything, or it won't completely make the fridge cold, but it will just keep it down to a certain temperature. If you're on gas or mains, you can control the fridge temperature with the button on the right hand side here, and the more bars you've got lit up, the colder the fridge will be. To turn the fridge off, you'll press and hold the power button and it will turn the fridge off completely. Above that you've got the microwave. Now it works pretty much the same as a household microwave. I believe for quick start you just press the button on the front here when the mains power is turned on, and it will start cooking or boiling, whatever you ask it to do. Hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliance. The only difference being is that when you're not on 240 mains you'll have no electric ring at the back here. That will only work when you're on a mains powered site. It will not work off gas or the 12 volt battery. The rest of the oven, grill and hob is all gas operated. Coming through into the toilet area now. One quick note, if you've got little ones in the van, be careful with the towel rail. It does hold heat for a very long time. The toilet system is very easy to use. You've got an electric flush on the back of the toilet here. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, should you wish to turn it and be more comfortable. On the back panel here, you have a red light that comes up when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. And then below the toilet you'll see a grey waste handle. You do actually need to have this grey waste handle open to allow the waste into the cassette under the van. And when you're not using the loo, we do advise you shut it back off. You also need to make sure that is in the closed position when you go to remove the toilet waste cassette from underneath the van, because if it is open it could potentially damage the toilet waste cassette itself. So that is the Elddis Crusader Super Cyclone. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to ask. We thank you for your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site to collect the caravan soon. Thank you for now. Bye bye.